Mm-hmm. 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 Let's go.
Welcome back, traders. How are we doing, guys? God bless each and every single one of you guys. Hope you're having a fan-freaking-tastic Tuesday. Welcome in to all the bears on the stock. AMC stock up 10.5% today, baby, as we see that test of 250 like we called. I just want you guys to know this is why we're the best AMC channel in the entire freaking YouTube. I'm going to play it. Hold that strength. You have so much support technically between here and 112 that I would expect to find a rally sooner rather than later, right? The first thing that you'd want to do is hold the previous high, right? That is your step one in this bullish consolidation. I don't really see a world in which you don't test this 250 area, so I do expect one more touch of bearish divergence to the top, to the height here, unless you retest and then blast through. Right? That would be your. Oh, yeah. It's exactly what you did, traders. So lock the prick in. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Hit the like button and make sure to stay the full length of the video because you guys know we ain't playing around here on this channel. So you did actually come up and invalidate your previous day of bearish divergence. Now, are you still bearishly divergent, making higher highs while making lower highs on the RSI? Absolutely you are. But you made a fantastic close, traders. And where did you close? You tested 250, 254, and you closed at 249. That is a stark rejection, even though you had a phenomenal day, up 9.21% and creating a bullish engulfing candle, traders. That is the most bullish, in my opinion, right? Not financial advice, the most bullish continuation candle that you can have in the entire stock market. Alongside of that, you saw a break in your volume exhaustion trend like we talked about, right? 3 days in a row of lower trading volume. Well, that came to an end today as you saw Adam Aaron bull post on AMC, right? Talking about Toy Story. In fact, I heard someone that I know talking about Toy Story. So you already know this thing is going to be a banger. You're going to have one of the top grossing movies in 2026 going in to a holiday weekend. Now, why is that important? It's important because not only did you retest the previous high, right, your high of 222 and your low of 220 today, so you got that big fat retest in there and then cleared 250 in the freaking meantime. Now, that is your best case scenario playing out on AMC once again as this thing enters the bull zone. Now, we talked about in our last video what happens in the bull zone stays in the bull zone, right? That's where the biggest freaking moves happen on this thing. And you're getting it, right? But you need to see either a pullback and consolidation to let the RSI catch up, or you need to see this thing break 250. A break above 250 on volume like this, right? We want to see a volume pump on the stock of around 100 million shares. That would be significant, right? Because you came in with a higher volume note of 50 million today. You need to see the pop, baby. You need to see this thing go crazy because you're testing this low, right? This low was practically 250. This low was practically 250, 245. And this high, right, testing previous support as new resistance, breaking above that really enters price discovery into 318. I truthfully believe that. And I do believe it's going to be a smooth cruise up another 26% until you tap that horizontal resistance, right? So that's been our thesis on this stock for quite some time, that as soon as you see that play out, traders, you're going to get a nice move. The technical profit target off of that cup and handle, like we talked about previously, is right around that 318 to 350 zone. So seeing a pop above 250 really gets this thing squeezing and gets the bulls back in control. Now, beyond the daily looking beautiful, right? You got the volume pop that we needed. You got the bullish candle close, and you got the invalidation of the previous bearish close. On the weekly time frame, we have a short week. Everyone knows that. But we are closing a fucking beautiful candle. Excuse my language, right? Look at this hammer candle on the weekly time frame. Bullish, 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 right? Looking at this uptrend in this previous uptrend, right? You're testing that now. So that's going to be significant resistance on the stock. Don't be surprised if you don't pass it right away. But what is the best case scenario for this thing? Peeling back. And I know that sounds fishy, right? It's not what we want to hear, but the best case scenario, traders, is what you're doing today, right? You have a bullish engulfing, as well as you're now so far above the 50-day EMA that it is curling at a trajectory that it has not, and it just has not ever, except for 2021. And what that's going to allow for is now you have the 200-day curling up. You're going to get the most bullish golden cross that you've had since February 1st of 2021. And retesting that, traders, that would be significant. Say it with me. Significantly bullish, right? Retesting around that $2 zone, which is probably where these two EMAs would meet by the time you get down there. Not only is it a significant level in the technical indicators, it's also a psychological level at $2. If you can successfully retest 2, allow the RSI to reset on the daily time frame, this freaking play is yours, right? The sky is where I think you're going to go, and the play is intact. That is your absolute bull case on AMC. Getting this golden cross, I'm going to scream from the hills, guys. I'm going to pound my fist. And I could not be more grateful for the area that you're in, right? You couldn't do it much better than what's happening. So I'm freaking jacked. I am absolutely jacked to the max. Weekly looks nice. Daily looks nice. And the quarterly time frame candle, guys. Look at that thing. Just look at it. 154% to the green. And I cannot help but think and wonder that if you close June above this quarterly candle of, you guessed it, I couldn't even make that up if I tried. That is completely on the whim. 318 is your high on this quarterly candle. If you close above 318 on the quarterly time frame, traders, going into July is when this bad boy restarts. You are going to see the most bullish AMC close since back here, right? This was your last bullish engulfing on the quarterly time frame. This candle swallowed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 5 quarters, a full year and a quarter of price action on the quarterly time frame. This closing above 318 would swallow up 1, 2, 3, almost 4 quarterly candles in just one go. So what's promising here is you're going to most likely get a quarterly close above the previous candle in volume, which you need, right? Because you saw 3 quarters in a row of increasing bearish volume as this thing plummeted. But the story is beginning to change, and the macro is going to flip on AMC as you're seeing, right? The monthly cross in volume to the previous month. This thing wants a breakout. It's most likely, in my opinion, going to get it. Now, on the weekly time frame, looking at the volume, you need to see this thing get a little bit more volume on the weekly, right? It's inevitably going to be less because of the shorter week in terms of price action, but you're seeing significantly lower volume while you close this thing as a bullish hammer. I'm still bullish on the candle close, but the volume isn't great here, right? Going into Wednesday, Thursday, you need to see this thing fly or bullishly consolidate, right? That's all I can say. You're seeing a nice bounce off of the 50-day EMA, currently at 219, which looks phenomenal on the weekly time frame. As you can see, this thing wicking off perfectly and holding the higher candle close. It's a great look for AMC on the weekly time frame as you continue to consolidate at these higher levels, allowing for that higher price action to be unlocked, guys. It looks nice. Monthly time frame on AMC we covered. Quarterly time frame on Webull. What can you say, right? Our thesis has always been a bullish one, but it is being validated by this price action, right? We have held the thought and the bullish thesis that this candle close in July, end of June, is going to give you the quarterly MACD flip, which is what you need on the macro to break above this downsloping resistance. Your all-time resistance on AMC is most likely going to be tested as you go into that 318 to 350 zone. If you see this thing flip green, it's going to be the first time you've seen it since March of 2021. We know, traders, that came at the hands of a January squeeze as well as a May-June squeeze. Well, your full extension or profit target from the breakout of this falling wedge, technically, right? This isn't just me being a moon boy. Technically is the full length of those two squeezes, January and June together. That, placed on top of the breakout at 318, brings you to about 100 schmeckles. Now, whether or not that's going to happen, traders, you can be highly speculative and you can just play the long term, right? You have so many different profit targets on AMC. Heavy resistance at $10. That's going to be a huge factor as you continue to rally here. And getting above 318 brings you to these more stubborn resistances, such as 550. That's going to be a huge one to watch for. So we're going to mark it now. 550. You see all of these tiny rejections along the way, the close below here, and the sharp wick off. 550 is going to be stubborn, as is that $11 to $10 territory, because $10, psychological number, that's how you get into the double digits, and it's your previous all-time low on the stock. You have multiple gaps to the upside, and this is what we've covered in the past, right? Multiple gaps. We were probably one of the first channels to mention this way back, about 6 months ago, that you have gaps currently sitting at about $43 up here from the AMC Ape conversion, $19, and then $13 or $12.64. These all come into effect when you talk about a potential squeeze play here as you're looking to get the golden cross, right? If you can stay above the golden cross, it acts as a significant support pad in which to launch off of. I can show you an example. It's the same thing we talked about in the last video, right? February 1st, you saw this thing kind of base out above the 200, form a bullish formation, and then squeeze, right? Retail institutions got loaded into the stock, and short hedge funds got squeezed. Well, just as fast as you can move down here, once you enter and close above that $10 location, you're above the 200-day EMA, you have the golden cross, you have the retail momentum, you're going to move up just as fast as you did move down. Great example of this is 2021, right? Just as fast as you moved up here, it's the same exact location, traders. Just pull, right, from the top to the bottom, right? This kind of $10 upwards of $50 territory is where you have seen your biggest and most technically confluent moves on AMC. You moved 716% in 21 days here. Exact same freaking range, guys. You moved down 83% in 28 days. So we're talking about in the span of a month, you're generating life-changing wealth. And fortunately, we have seen the stars align. And if this thing can continue to outperform the S&P 500, you're going to turn heads, right? If you can get this bullish golden cross, which you're now only 26 cents away from doing so, you're going to turn the heads of every single swing trader, day trader, hedge fund, institution, and channel on AMC. And I'm here for it, right? I am absolutely jacked bullish, because when you see the S&P 500 down 0.6%, making a touch of bearish divergence and seeing a rejection in which you're probably going to fill the gap at 744, also a rejection off of this overall channel, right? Dump, potential dumpy here. And AMC is absolutely outperforming the S&P. That's a great sign that AMC is showing strength in the markets, right? That is bullish. Bullish, guys. It gets me freaking excited on the stock. But that's not to neglect the fact that when markets peel back, so often does AMC too. So that's why I'm thinking here that this test of 250 was the exact same thing that we called, right? You've got the test. Now you need to see a pullback to significant support, which will be the 200-day EMA, currently sitting at 196. Man, that was a lot of short-winded words. But I'm so bullish, guys. I love the stock. Shout out to the Twitter community. My man DGen Life reposted our video yesterday. Didn't know we were spitting like that, but it's already up to 1,000 views on Twitter, guys. I'm barely even on there, but I do repost some of the stuff for you guys. That's kind of my update for AMC for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed, right? Slap the subscribe button because there's no other channel covering AMC as accurately, as in depth, and as consistently as we are. I hope you guys are having a fan-freaking-tastic day. God bless you and your families. And remember, traders, if you take away anything from this video, take away the fact that the best is yet to come. Let's go and peace. Woo!